What's going on, guys? TK back with another video. So today I'm gonna go over the basics of team building, okay? This won't be a super in-depth guide, but it's gonna get you new guys like through the door, all the new people trying to get into competitive Pokemon. It's gonna get your foot in the door, okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit like 10K subscribers, trying to grow my channel. So it really would help if you guys like, subscribe, help me out, support your boy, and I'll keep giving you this content. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the video. So you want to learn how to team build, okay? Big brother TK is here to help, all right? I'm going to give you the basic fundamentals to get you through the door, and then you can start consuming more content and start getting an understanding by looking at how other people play, team build, etc. So I'm going to go through it step by step on the basics of building a team, okay? So first things first, we got to go with cores. You need to understand how cores are, or what cores are. Cores are Pokemon with synergy with each other, offensively or defensively, okay? These are like two or more Pokemon that synergize well with each other. For example, for this team, right? Like I said in the last video, the basic thing I like to go with when I'm building a team at the start of the season, especially when there's no real rule set right now, still waiting for them to announce the official VGC rule set. But for now, what I like to do, I like to play balance. There's different archetypes of teams like hyper offense, trick room, really bulky, tanky teams. I like balanced teams like this at the start because it's just like, it helps me start understanding the meta. So usually I like to go with red, blue, green, which is grass, fire, water, or like steel, fairy, dragon. As you can see, this team has all of it, right? Because they cover each other's strengths and weaknesses. For example, this is a good core right here. So like Garchomp, Corviknight, Sylveon, this is a good defensive core because everything Sylveon is weak to, Corviknight can switch into, right? Fairy is weak to steel and poison. Corviknight resists steel and is immune to poison. You see what I'm saying? So like, let's say something threatens Sylveon. Well, I can just switch into Corviknight and Corviknight will just take that hit, and then I can get like a tailwind or whatever, you know, I can start doing my thing. Same thing with Garchomp. Everything Garchomp is weak to, Corviknight can switch into as well, right? So that's a good defensive core. Now there's offensive cores, right? But you know, y'all kind of get the understanding about what I'm saying, right? Like an offensive core would be like two Pokemon that cover each other's weaknesses. Like you have two strong offensive Pokemon, and whatever that partner's Pokemon is weak to, his partner can cover it, right? So that's an offensive core. But for this example, I'm gonna show you a defensive core. Next thing you need to know is breakers, okay? These are like your main damage dealers of your team. So Scarlet and Garchomp are like my main, Scarlet, Garchomp, and Sylveon are my main breakers. Like everybody does damage to a certain extent. Like Rotom can do damage to things that are weak, like Corviknight, same thing. But my main damage dealers on the team are these three. These are my two physical breakers. This is my special breaker, right? Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, Throat Spray. These guys are gonna get the job done, okay? Swords, Dancers, right? Like these two, Shadow Sneak, Bitter Blade, things like that. These are my main damage dealers of the team. You can't just have a full team of defensive mons, you know, unless you really playing like a degenerate and you stall it, right? But you know, you're playing like the timer or whatever. There's teams like that too, but that's a video for another day. But yeah, these are like your main damage dealers. Okay, next you have your speed control. Okay, this is anything like Tailwind. For example, like let's say you're running Armor Rouge, right? Trick Room and Armor Rouge. This is a form of speed control. Let's say you're running, what's his name? Chin Pal. Icy Wind. This is a form of speed control. When inevitably when Regieleki joins the game, you know what I'm saying? No, not Draco. Regieleki joins the game. Electro Web. I'm sure there's other like electro types in the game right now that have Electro Web, but yeah, just as an example, he's not legal yet, but these are forms of speed control. Remember, this is a turn-based game, okay? This is not like a action-based real-time game. So whenever you can move before your opponent in a turn-based game, you are always in control, okay? Usually a lot of times like if you play teams online and they get Trick Room off, usually the Trick Roomer, like the battle is in the palm of his hands, right? You can always play, your team should be able to play around Trick Room, right? But like if your team is not prepared for Trick Room and they get it off, you are at the mercy of the Trick Room player, okay? So it's a turn-based game. Speed control is very important. Whoever's moving first is usually the one who's in control, right? So speed control is very important on your teams, okay? Those are just examples of speed control. Then you have redirection, okay? Redirection is very strong in doubles. So like Rage Powder. Among Us is a very bulky mon, right? He's my support, right? He's built very tanky. So he's built to take attacks. So let's say I'm trying to get off Tailwind, and then there's an electric Pokemon on the other side that threatens me. Well, this is where Amoonguss comes in. So if I have Corviknight and Amoonguss out, right, I'm trying to set my speed control, which is Tailwind, but Corviknight is threatened by electric Mons. So I place Amoonguss next to him to redirect the electric attack so it doesn't hit Corviknight and it hits the grass type of Amoonguss, which he resists electric moves, right? So I redirect, I take the electric move, Amoonguss survives, then Tailwind goes up, you know, things like that. So redirection, there's a whole bunch of redirection mons. Like you could do like, it's not just Rage Powder. I'm pretty sure that new mouse, what's his name? Mouse, what's his name? The new mouse Pokemon. What Tandem Mouse? So the new mouse Pokemon, Mousehole, he's another example. Like he gets Follow Me. This is a form of redirection. He also gets Friend Guard, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure he's pretty speedy. You can actually use his he has like population. Anyway, we ain't talking about that right now. Follow Me, he gets Follow Me, so he gets Friend Guard as well, which is good in doubles because he decreases the damage given to his partner. But this is a form of speed control, or excuse me, redirection. Things like what's Jump Love? I think Jump Love gets Rage Powder, right? Rage Powder too. Jump Love gets Rage Powder. I'm pretty sure Volcarona still gets Rage Powder. So yeah, there's actually a lot of mons who have redirection, like Follow Me, Rage Powder, things like that. You just need to choose which one you want and then build a team accordingly around those, you know, around that Pokemon strengths and weaknesses, etc. So there's a lot of things you can do, but redirection is very good. And then you have things like damage reduction. Okay, so for my team, like I have like Will-O-Wisp. Usually I run like Intimidate, but yeah, I'll give you an example. So like things like Will-O-Wisp, like Arcanine is very powerful, right? Usually if like Incineroar isn't in the format, you got Arcanine. He's like the second in command of Incineroar, you know. But Intimidate, things like Snarl is damage reduction. What else? You got like Sylveon's Calm Mind, right? Calm Mind is a form of damage reduction. Chilling Water. I know Scald is out of the game now, so who gets Chilling Water? Let's do Tatsugiri. I know he gets it. So like Chilling Water will be a form of damage reduction, right? 100% chance to lower the target attack by 1. Same thing, Corviknight Iron Defense is a form of damage reduction. Things like that. So, oh, sorry, my phone. Sorry, guys. But those are things that turn the tide of the battle, right? Let's say you have a core of a defensive core. This is very common, by the way, like Amoonguss Arcanine, right? Let's say you're fighting a very offense heavy team. Well, you could just start defensively. Let's say it's a hyper offense team and you know their mons aren't that tanky and your support mons can kind of deal a lot of damage to them. What you could do is start with Amoonguss Arcanine, right? And when Arcanine comes out, he will intimidate the physical attackers, which will lower their attack stage by 1. And then Amoonguss will come out, and then since he's so defensive, he might be able to survive and just Spore, or he could just Rage Powder things away from Arcanine, and Arcanine is just worrying about debilitating the team, right? So while Amoonguss is redirecting the offensive mons, you have Arcanine snarling them depending on their special attackers, or Will-O-Wisp with them depending on their physical attackers. And remember, their physical attackers, unless they have a certain ability, Intimidate is going to eat them up, right? And then Arcanine can also put on pressure with like Flare Blitz, or you know, if he's a special attack on Arcanine, use like Flamethrower. Usually you see like Flare Blitz because this is really strong. But Arcanine is usually built like something like this too, like really fast and really defensive. You know, little things like that. But yeah, that's like a form of damage reduction. How depending on the team you fight, you can just start defensively and just start debilitating the team. But yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about in this video. Like I said, it's just to get you in the door, okay? I'm not the best player in the world, but I have a good understanding of the game and how it works. And then this, just having the basis of this can help you team build. And like I said, consume content. There are way better players than me, right? You got all the old VGC heads who've been competing and all the world champions. What you need to understand is this is a process, okay? You don't get good at anything in life overnight. It takes time, but the more you do it and the more content you consume and the more you care about learning and getting better, the more you're going to enjoy doing it. It won't feel so much like a chore, and you'll actually start enjoying it. So consume content, go around, look at all the other guys, and you know, use this guy to give you an understanding on how they build teams and everything like that. But if you learned something today, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, peace.